What is up, guys and girls? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having fun, and I hope you're all getting out on the water as much as possible. We are coming back at you from Reckless Riders in Rhodes, Greece, and today we are doing another foil review video. As we mentioned in the past, we are looking at all the Axis foils we have handy here at Reckless Riders, which is nearly all of them. And we are not endorsed by Axis, so we bought everything ourselves. So everything you hear here is my simple and simplistic, let's say, review of these foils. We want to keep it easy. Today we're gonna start off with the HPS series, and we're going to be looking at the two biggest sizes of the HPS foils from the Axis range. Now, what are the HPS? The Axis HPS series, or high performance speed. They are one of the most popular foils in the Axis range. These foils are high aspect foils that remain very easy to use for all level of riders. So unlike many other high aspect foils that you might find from other brands, or even some other ones within the Axis series, when you go to high aspect, usually there's that level of difficulty accompanying them. But these ones, they are very nice, very easy foils to get used to and start riding. So if you're thinking of getting into high aspect foils but you're afraid of that difficulty factor, don't look any further than the HPS series. The way these foils perform in speed, glides, cruising around, but also jumps and freestyle, if you go to the smaller sizes of the series, it's probably what makes them the more popular or the go-to choice for a lot of riders. So these are very popular foils. Now, we're going to start with the two biggest sizes, the 1050 and the 980. The 1050, it's a big long boy here, see that? As we said in the past, 1050 in Axis is the wingspan. This 1050 has an actual surface area of 1,502 square centimeters and an aspect ratio of 7.5. Now, these foils in general, the HPS foils, I would say they're speed-based foils. So when it comes to getting them off the water, getting into foiling, into flying, you're looking at picking up as much speed as you can on the surface with your board, and then they'll launch easily. Whereas the BSC, for example, that we saw in the previous videos, they can start at very low speeds because they can pump up, they have more volume. As you see, these don't have that much volume, they're thin foils, so even from the biggest size, you will be pairing them with a black fuselage. Now, the black fuselage you can use really any size you like. You can also use advanced or normal. I still use the normal fuse with them. I don't go on the advanced. I don't see the point on these kind of foils unless you really want to get some tight calves in there, but there's foils that are better at doing that than this. These, especially the big size, I would say the nice cruising foils. So black fuselage, they're thin foils. They have a lot of glide and everything you'd expect from a high aspect foil, but with a much easier user friendliness that they have accompanying them. So the 1050, it has huge amount of glide. I mean, if you're already flying on this foil and you let go of your wing, you're just gonna be gliding and gliding and gliding non-stop. If you hit the slightest of waves, it will just carry you through. It has a lot of speed for its size. You can push it and still keep it under control, but of course, getting a lot of speed on this also means you're going to get a lot of lift, so it's not ideal for light riders. But then again, a light rider wouldn't need to use this big, I mean. Speaking of which, they're probably best for the very heavy riders at a good level, or intermediate heavy riders. So these will work fantastically for big boys like me or bigger than me that want to get on high aspect foils and they're not going to plan to go out only on massive amounts of wind. They're also very maneuverable for its size, so all around it's a very nice cruising foil. It can go very fast. It's good for catching wakes and waves and just getting the glide out, pumping with it. And I would say it encompasses everything you're looking from a high aspect foil, but with much more user friendliness. The big difference here, as I said, from other foils that you might have used, is that it's still, as a high aspect, you need to speed up a lot on the board while you're still on the surface of the water, and then you can pop it up much easier. Don't try to start them at very low speeds by pumping very aggressively with your legs. That is not how these kind of foils work. So different style of pumping. Now the 980 here, so this is the next size down. Again, 980 is the wingspan. This is the foil here. The surface area is 1,283, and again, very similar foil, does everything we said before, but immediately knocking down from the 1050, you do feel the looseness coming into this foils, the HPS, and kind of like the maneuverability you gain from them. So this has still a lot of glide, obviously not as much as this one, but still a lot of glide, plenty of glide. It's a very fast foil. It's super nice for cruising around. Like once you get started on it, you don't drop off. You just fly around, do whatever you like. You can go through big lulls. It's a very, very, very kind of easy-going foil to just cruise and have a nice time on the water. It gets much more carvy and maneuverable, so it carves really nicely with a lot of control for its sides. You can really get tight carves in there if you're a high level rider and that's what you want to do. Again, it will perform in that aspect much better if you pair it with the right fuse and rear wing, so very short fuse or even an advanced fuse and a small rear wing. But if you're just looking for cruising, bit longer fuse, bit bigger rear wing, make your life easy. It'll get up easier and you will you will have an amazing time on the water with it. It is, like I said, like before, speed-based, all the series is the same, so you've got to pick up speed on the water before trying to get it flying. And it's very good for light winds and heavy riders, so anybody can really use this. Light riders, so lightweight riders in very light winds, heavy riders on a normal day, or even up to really strong winds. I've had some 100-kilogram riders using this in like 20-25 knots and they still enjoy it. It really has a lot of control, so you can keep it down even if it's a bit of a big foil. Now, like I said, all the series goes with black fuse, advanced or normal, it's up to you. I still use normal in this. I think that's more than enough. I like to use an ultra short or even a crazy short on the smaller size, but on the big ones I'd go for short or ultra short. And my favorite rear wings for this are the progressive rear wings. Now for the big one you can go up to like 425, but I would say with all of them I don't go over 400, and I think that works perfectly fine. So 400 progressive, but you can use anything speed-based from your rear wing. So progressive, speed, flat, skinny, all of them are fine. I still think the progressive are the best all-around rear wings, and they're going to match these foils really, really, really nicely. Now the foils as they perform, besides wing foiling, which is what we talk about, we can also use them for downwind, for prone foiling, for sup foiling, which is getting very popular now, and probably even for windsurf foiling. Wouldn't use them for anything like kite foiling because they're way too big, I would say. So that's it for the first two sizes of, or the biggest sizes of the HPS series. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like. You can comment on the video with any questions you have about these foils or any other foils or anything you want to mention. Even if you want to tell me, hey Kakos, I want to hear more about this type of thing on the foils. But do remember, we're keeping our videos nice and simple. That's why I don't go too in depth in all of this. So please like, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I will see you on the water.